salutation and welcome. So, this is Cynthia. She is 30 years of age. She's looking for short term, open to long term. She is interested in monogamy. She has the double date feature activated. I don't have anybody to double date with, unfortunately. At least not that's using Tinder and stuff like that. So, I'd have to drag somebody. So 4 miles away, 5'3", machinist, Agawam, a woman, straight, drinks on special occasions, non-smoker, so am I. I also don't drink anymore. Sometimes she works out. I like to stay athletic. Dog, omnivore, veteran person in terms of communication style, love style, time together, education, trade school, which is really, really cool. It's very intriguing. It's very attractive. Zodiac sign, Sagittarius. You guys don't know because I haven't recorded it, or at least uploaded it, but Sagittarius is exactly what I'm looking for. Interests, upcycling, 90s kids, sushi, PlayStation, bowling, thrifting, music, folk music, alternative music, hiking music. So we have similar interests in music. I haven't listened. I'm pretty sure I like folk music. You can find her socializing. She likes to dress up. She tends to arrive early. Exit strategy style looks like shh, don't tell. Weekends are for socializing. Saturday nights look like fun nights out. And a typical Sunday looks like self-care. Now, we already matched, and you'll see that I already messaged her today at 6:26 a.m. I'm not sure when I'll upload this, but it'll probably be within the day or shortly after, like a day, the day after or whatnot. It shouldn't take me that long. But I wrote, it took me some time to get to this, and I apologize. I hope it hasn't soured your interest. Getting to know you would be an absolute joy. There are things I'd love to talk to you about, all of which are safe for work in this particular context, like starting with how Sagittarius is exactly what I'm looking for and getting your feedback on why you think it's taken so long to match with one. So, yeah, I'm very interested in Sagittarius. I'll definitely go into this about it with her if we get that far, but Sagittarius, as far as I know, is the only zodiac sign that I have not been in a romantic relationship with of some kind, sexual or, more intimate than that. And I find that very peculiar, particularly because it's in my fourth house. Like, it's kind of scary that Sagittarius could be the end all be all. That is a little frightening. I don't have cold feet. I just, like, my heart, it's just, Sagittarius is usually depicted as like a bow and an arrow, like having a bow and an arrow. And some targets, you just, some things you hit too well. Some things, like a target can get hit, like a bullseye can be a bad thing. A bullseye can be a bad thing. And yeah, so, but I don't want to, put negative energy on that, on this, and I hope you guys don't think that I'm looking at this negatively. I'm actually quite positive about it. It just I'm very interested in getting answers regarding the relationship or the lack thereof of Sagittarius in my life. I have no family members that I know of that are Sagittarius. I have this is almost as rare as Scorpio. Scorpio is only second in rarity because I had a grandfather who died, who is a Scorpio. But Sagittarius, I have no relatives that are Sagittarius. I have no friends that are Sagittarius. I've never had any friend that is a Sagittarius, except for I've had some classmates that are Sagittarius, but they've been aloof to me and stuff like that. So it's not like I haven't been in a room with a Sagittarius, obviously enough, but they've been among the most distant people from me. And you know, like I definitely, especially at the stage that I'm at, I don't want to break Sagittarius's heart. My infidelity days are behind me. So that's not the concern. I won't be cheating or stepping out or putting reservations or, secretly hoping for the relationship to collapse or anything like that. Like none of the gimmicks to get out of a relationship, none of the gimmicks. Just, no, just pure, honest communication. That she is the end of the road for me. She is the last zodiac sign that I have not been with. Or the last zodiac sign that she's the last zodiac sign that I haven't been with. And that is, profound. It's, because, I really have to make this work. There's people with body counts way higher than me, obviously. And there's people with body counts perhaps lower than mine. Mine's is around 43, in total of all types of sexual intercourse or sexual interactions, including kissing and stuff like that. So, I'm 30 years old. It's higher than my age. So, what I'm getting at is that like I said, I have to make this work. I have to do a really good job at getting this relationship to be a good and healthy one. Am I going to bind her to something like forever? No, but I'm not saying that can't happen. Like, there's a way to get forever without having to, like, oath bound someone to it and stuff like that. There's a way to get it. And I might it might seem like I'm talking with experience beyond my years because I haven't had a relationship, where the person is still sexually involved with me and stuff like that, or physically involved with me. In fact, they blocked me. So, you know, um, what you don't have an uploading of prior to this is that I set out in high school, as soon as I entered high school, that I would date all 12 of the zodiac signs. I set this goal not as some porn star agenda. I set it as an agenda. I sent it as an agenda because I looked at it this way. There's a good chance that my next relationship is not going to last. There's a good chance. And there's a good chance that the relationship after that is not going to last. And the relationship after that, and the relationship after that. And I don't know how many relationships it's going to be, but there's a good chance they're all not going to last. So, if that be the case, what I have decided to do is organize this. I have decided to put structure to this. I will track what zodiac signs I am dating, and I will accumulate all the possible information I can to slow the tide, to get better at my relationships, to get better at what I'm doing. Now, this isn't with the goal to, obviously to become like a dating coach or anything like that. This is a very personalized thing. I don't really think that I could give you dating advice regarding what I'm going through, regarding the I got a text message obviously, but it's a personalized experience. It doesn't really translate to another person, but other than to say that perhaps you should be tracking what zodiac signs you date. Now, of course, there's also numerology, and I hadn't considered numerology at the time in factoring that in, just because there's a fine line between saying, all right, I'm going to be encompassing, and then there's the other side of that line where you're stretching the goal. You're squeezing it out for everything it's worth, trying to get as many as you can in before you cut it off. In other words, like a bachelor party or like a bachelor phase, where you're like, all right, I'm gonna talk to as many girls as possible before I settle down or something like that. Doing some outlandish thing like that. There's opposed to, genuinely coming up with a plan to ensure that you are faithful in your relationship. So, and that's what this is about. This is about being faithful in my relationship. This is about being, good in my relationship, benevolent, honest, pure. And I want to achieve that. And, looking at her, I definitely think it could happen. I mean, red is a very hard color for me to like, given that, interestingly enough, if with her being 30, we're both boars, we're both wood pigs, or we're both wood pigs. Red is not our color. Red is, I don't know if she's looked that up, but red is not a color that we're supposed to be using. Now, I've found some clever ways to get away with it. A lightsaber, a red lightsaber will do okay, particularly probably because a red lightsaber is supposed to be generated by a crystal of some kind. And the only exception for our Chinese zodiac sign with red is a ruby. We are okay with rubies. Rubies are a good luck item for, or object for us. So the red, I'm going to say in this particular photo, in terms of the lipstick, it's something I could grow to like. It's something I could grow to like. The red bottoms or the red lower part, that's fine. That doesn't clash at all. But red lipstick is a very, 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 very hard color for me to be attracted to. Like it's jarring in a way. It it's a very hot color, quite obviously, and it could, it's as a Sagittarius. She's a fire sign and stuff like that, so that makes a lot of sense. As an Aquarius, I'm an air sign. I'm more winter, so I'm colder. I'm a lot colder. I'm one of the colder air signs. And even, I mean, realistically, there isn't really any summer air signs. Libra is fall, which is on, I suppose, which is on the cooler end of winter, or of on the cooler end of the hotter seasons. It's cooling down. Summer is cooling down. Spring, Gemini, I suppose, is warming up. So Gemini would probably be the summer one, but Gemini lands in spring. So there's no summer, there's no really hot air signs. Cancer, Virgo, and Leo dominate the summer. That's earth, water, and fire. So yeah, I won't digress too much, but I hope she responds. I'd like to talk to her. And thanks for watching.